Good afternoon to the board members at the National Institute for the Study of Transfer Students and Transfer Students nationwide. My name is Saeed Ahmad, and I'm vying to be a National Transfer Student Ambassador. My transfer journey starts in high school. I went to a high school in the local Inland Empire, and one notable thing about my time in high school was I wasn't too driven and I didn't have too many goals and aspirations. That led to mediocre grades, and I was merely skating by. However, there was one dream that I had. I remember looking in a booklet and seeing UCLA's Royce Hall, which you can see right behind me, and I thought to myself that this is going to be my dream school. However, I did not have the grades to match up to such an elite institution, and I was mostly hopeless during my junior year of high school. I was hopeless until I learned about a hidden gem known as community college. I learned about how this institution, this community college, would enable me to save money while also having a fresh start to my academic career and being taught by the top administrators and faculty in the country. You know, one thing about treasures is when you find it, you often tell people about it. And I did start telling people about how I was going to be attending community college right after my completion of high school. However, the reception I received wasn't something that I was expecting. I still remember telling a high school teacher that I would be attending the local community college. He told me, "Makes sense. Someone like you with no extracurriculars, bad grades, and nothing going for him, it makes sense that someone like you would go to community college." Since he said that, my number one goal became of ending the negative stereotype and connotation that was associated with community colleges. I went to my friends Richard and Tyler, and this was in 2016, and I made a bet with them, and I told them the only difficulties I'd be having would be choosing between Berkeley and UCLA to complete my undergraduate career. I ended up going to the local community college, Norco, and I ended up excelling there for 2 years, being involved in the honors program and leading the pre-law society there. And indeed, 2 years later, in 2018, I was indeed choosing between Berkeley and UCLA to complete my transfer journey. And while both were excellent and elite institutions, I ended up going with my dream school, UCLA, and I transferred there. But there's also one thing that I noticed there at UCLA. It wasn't just enough to excel. It wasn't just enough to skate by and graduate from UCLA. To truly end the negative connotation associated with community colleges, I had to excel and be the best at whatever institution I went to. And that's what I did. In my 2 years at UCLA, I led a team of the top transfer students and led the #1 pre-law and business society in the entire nation. Pre-law